Good morning, traders, and welcome to the Bookmap All Markets webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap. Good morning, and we're going to go through the order flow analysis using Bookmap on any of the markets that we can connect to that you guys want to look at. Typically, we look at the ES or the S&P E-mini product because that's what you request. But we can look at Bitcoin or Ethereum or we look at stocks, etc. Okay, or other futures markets. Yeah, we do this webinar every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday at 10 a.m. And this is like a foundational webinar. So I'm the lead educator here at Bookmap, and I want to provide everybody with an understanding of order flow so that everyone can learn from that and then implement that into any type of trading strategy. All right, so this is the foundation here. Let me just show you a bit more about that. If you go to bookmap.com, you click on the More button here, you go to the Learning Center here. Okay, so how to get connected to Bookmap. Getting started, this course here will go through all of the ways how to use Bookmap, the features and components. Very short but concise videos. Then we have the Market Mechanics course as well that will go through the basics of how these markets operate, okay, from the binary structure onward. And then this again is like a foundation here. And then we have all of these other pro trader streamers here. You can see that we have 18, I think we have 19 altogether, and we're adding others. They cover all sorts of markets, languages, and different ways of trading. Scroll down a little bit more and you'll see our calendar here, and you can subscribe. Click on one here and you can add it to your the email event to your calendar. All right, so the idea here is to provide this education for you so that you can trade any way that you want using order flow. It works on any strategy. If you're looking at patterns, you could be looking at MACD, moving averages. Just make sure it matches with the order flow. Now you have a much higher probability trade. Okay, so you can reach out to me on Discord, Bruce at Bookmap, and then on my Twitter handle at FlowOrder. General disclosure, all Bookmap limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure, trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. This is for education. It is not financial advice. All right, let's take a look here. We're going to jump into the S&P E-mini and just we'll go over the order flow briefly here. What we see in Bookmap, interesting stuff right off the bat. Usually is. You can see the 830 PPI data that we had here. Obviously, the market didn't like it. It moved down into this high liquidity here. This is what stopped the market from going down further. We see the retest back up here, and then we have liquidity here, and a little bit more down here, and we see some back and forth. It continues on down, and then look at this cash open here. Okay, it moved to the downside immediately. However, we're seeing a lot of buyers, and look at this bid here, 44.60. Okay, this is how Bookmap can help you. Without this is what it looks like. It's even worse than that, quite a bit worse. And you know, it's not a sales pitch. I'm just showing you this is what it looks like if you don't have it. You know, you see your candlesticks and you're trying to read this, and you maybe have your volume here. Okay, that's great. But what about who's on the other side of the trade here? What does that bid look like? Are they accepting it? Are they getting filled in those areas here? Did they get filled on the way down? Did they get out of the way on the way back up? Or is there more buying pressure that trades right through it and continues on up? These are the questions that we want to answer to get better insight to what's going on, and it's very simple to do in Bookmap. Okay, we use the heat map to show us that. We take the candlesticks off. You might go over candlesticks again, but we can look at it here. And then we look at the heat map, and then here's our answer. Getting filled. No one interested in tangling with this high liquidity in here. Buyers come in, and we're right back up to this PPI data up here. Okay, now seller is still in control from this time period onward. All right, so but we see a lot of heavy buying here. We also had news here, University of Michigan sentiment. Market seemed to like that one. Okay, and where did it go? High liquidity here at 44.80. This is what absorbed that buying pressure, and we haven't really come back up. We've come back up here again, but we haven't broken it. All right, so maybe we just go back and forth within this period here. These are the things and the scenarios to go through and understand what's going on here in the order flow and the transactions. All right, let me get to any questions here. No, we're good on YouTube. And are we good over on Discord? Good morning, guys. Yeah, you know what? We might go through slowdown. I saw that. I mean, and Stan, some just you guys have been doing some just excellent work. Sloth, also Rob. We may go through some of your images here that you've posted in our Discord. Guys, you might want to come and join us over here in Discord. I mean, really high quality work here by some of these guys, as you can see, going through the order flow in detail and being able to understand, or they're marking up their charts. This is actually part of our Bookmap Academy course if you're interested in that. Yeah, we'll go through these things and we'll give a little bit of coaching on this kind of information as well. Very clean and clear explanations here by Slowdown. Looking at his Wyckoff spring in these areas here. And what is he looking at down in here? Not just liquidity, he's looking for a stop hunt. He knows the momentum in this, and the buyers are in control. He's looking for a stop hunt, rejection, buyers coming back in, top of the range, and then maybe breaking the range to the upside here, which I think he documented, and he hit his target here. Just beautiful stuff, right? Doesn't get much better. And then Stan has been really good identifying exactly what we're going through here in these webinars. All right. So yeah, if you have any questions over in Discord, we may go through some of those. I think we'll certainly take a look at the Wyckoff spring. In fact, you might even be able to see it right now, right here. Let's see if we can get it here. We have our momentum move to the upside, our back and forth in here. Now, what we're looking for is stop run, move back up into the range, back to the other side of the range at 44.80. Okay, so that's the move there, right? So we can see the dip below here. Not much of a stop run though. Look at the red line here. Okay, those are stop transactions. The stop run actually happened over here, but you do have some. Well, you can see there's quite a few stops here. We went lower and we didn't find stops, right? So maybe the stops are exhausted out, and maybe we're going to find some buyers, take it back in, and try to get stops on the other side of the range here. Okay, that would be the scenario. So it looks good, slow down. And right now it's pretty clear sailing up into 80, and I see momentum and buyers behind it. So I would look for this right now. Up into this into 80 here. It's basically got to clear this kind of point of control in here first. You can see it's tested it here, and then sellers are reacting to that. Okay, so back down to the bottom of the range right now. But I like this very much. It's really good stuff. We have the momentum move. Look for maybe some trap traders. People got it wrong, stopped out, and then look for the move and continuation of this momentum move here. All right. So let's see if this can unfold here. Maybe this is the stop run we're looking for. Yeah, that looks maybe even a little bit better here. Now, what we're looking for is a rejection on that. Okay, so we're looking for buyers to come back in and trade back up into about 75 up here, get buyers on the other side, and then hit 80. Okay, so it would be like a 5-point move. But we're looking for rejection and move pretty quickly here. Okay, if that doesn't happen, then we're looking for the trending market here, right? So I'm just going through, taking the opportunity to just go through this a couple different scenarios and setups regarding this Wyckoff spring concept. All right, so it's the confirmation of that spring is what we're looking for, and right now we're not getting it. In here, we actually didn't. It looked like it was going to do it to me. and I thought we'd probably get the move up into 80. They needed to clear this point of control here, or just the most traded level, which happens to also be, you know, this kind of range in here, right? So there's two ranges in here, as you can see, and we need to break through that and on up into the top of this range up here. All right, and you can see that sellers didn't like that idea. They came in pretty hard here and more here, but we know it's also a big stop run. All right, so anyway, we'll continue to look at that and that concept here. Right now it's looking like a pretty good, starting to kind of shape up here as a potential reversal pattern. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of buying in here first. Okay, so anyway, we'll you know, you can see this kind of rounded top, or you know, kind of double top up here, kind of a shoulder, and you can see the sellers flowing in on the other side here. Okay, see the bars here. Okay, buyers, sellers starting to come in. Right, so we're looking for the flow change here. Okay. Actually, this is one of the setups we look for in here as well. Okay. All right. So coming back up to our 75 level, that's what we were looking at earlier. Yeah. This is one of the setups we have been looking at for years, actually. And I'm sorry I kind of missed it. You can see the even a little flag pattern in here. Actually looking pretty good. We're back up here to this kind of 77, that point of control. Let's see if we can get a little bit more buying above it, and then 80 looks pretty good. Yeah, I like it. I think we're going to hit 80 here. And it's not a trade recommendation. We're just reading the order flow, right? And looking for a test up to 80. And then let's see if we can even break 80 and then make it through. Now, the setup here, okay, well, first we looked at that Wyckoff spring idea, okay, that it would kind of dip below, hit some stops, and then come back up. It did dip below here and hit the stops. Okay, but this is a different setup. It's not a Wyckoff spring in that sense. And this is what the setup is actually, and we've seen this in crude oil for years. Really clean and clear in crude oil is you get this the momentum move here, and then you get this move back down. Leg one, leg two fails. This is a double bottom here, and buyers come in on the other side, move it back up into the range and through the point of control to the other side of the range, and basically we look for trend continuation at this point. Okay, another strong move, and then just repeat this process here. Okay, so it would be like this, and then maybe some back and forth in here, and then continuation maybe up into 90. All right, sorry about that. I'm kind of all over the place on this. We look for this pattern all the time though. Leg one, leg two fails, buyers in on the other side. Okay, this is your stop run, this is your trap volume, and I'm just relating that to that Wyckoff spring, but it is a bit different. All right, let me go over here. Can you tell us how to predict the next move on order flow? Not interested in the past. Yeah, that's what we do in this room, and that's the value that we want to bring, precisely the value. So we already talked about 80 and continuation. Looks pretty good so far. There is no reason to get out of this at this moment, and I would be looking for high liquidity here to stop maybe some of that buying or absorb some of that buying pressure. And we can also look at moves in here, measured moves. We've talked about measured moves for a long time. Here's one right here, okay, up into 85 right now. This might be a good area to take some profit, book some profit. Here's why. Here's what you have on your side. High liquidity getting filled here, 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 and here. All right. That's number one. Number two, these are strong moves. Okay. Well, let's just kind of put some expectations behind those strong moves. All right, so for example, this strong move here. Here's another one here. Okay, this one's really great here. Okay, and then here's another one here. See how they're kind of equal. Now, just, it's about the breadth of the market is what we're talking about here. It's the same thing with you when you look at your ticky, or whatever it is that you're looking at, your market internals. There's only just so much buying or selling pressure before there has to kind of be an exhaustion, a retest, and then continuation or reversal. And that's what we're talking about here. Okay, so how much more buying pressure is there? Now let's take a look at that and talk about this move here. Okay, is it the same amount of buying pressure? No, it's not. This is more buying pressure here. Okay, look at the bars, look at the size of the green dots. All right, so it came back up and it made a slightly higher high here, but not quite as much here. Now it's still bullish. This move is still bullish here, but we're reading the volume up in this area here. Okay, now we're about point higher here from 85 to 86. Okay, and then what's the reaction up here? Okay, well, it looks like the market needs to take a breather. We're just reading this volume and this volume. Okay, and we just talked about this. So we're covering this in real time, and we booked some profit up here. Okay, that was the idea, the concept. All right, so I covered this too late, as I mentioned, but once we got through point of control, we're looking for 80 and above. All right, now we put a little more expectations on it in here about these measured moves, and we're like, okay, 85, let's book something. All right, so does this answer your question, Damush? Okay, this is real-time analysis, and we're talking about some of these concepts in here. These are not trade recommendations. It's concepts of how to maybe manage your, consider managing your trades using order flow. We had reasons for it here. Okay, this is what Bookmap is really good at, showing these reasons here. Okay, why? Well, there's other traders up here. Okay, that's why. Now we read it up here. Is there any way to figure it out? Yeah, we're going through it right now. Oh, you have another question in here. Is there liquidity available a certain price range? Sometime it acts like a magnet. Yeah. Yeah. Is there any way to figure that out? Absolutely. Okay, so we can do that in real time again. All right. High liquidity is up here, 86. High liquidity is on the offer. Right now, look at the offer now. See how it's changing? Okay, there's more on the offer at lower areas here. Where are they on the bid? They're down here, okay, at 80. All right, so these are the magnetic areas in here, right? But watch how something will come in the book here and repel price potentially. Okay, now we didn't get it here. It didn't do that example. Here it did it. They're pulling a little bit here and they're adding on the bid here. Okay. You'll see this a lot, right? You're looking for a skew in the auction, right? So our magnetic levels are these high liquidity areas here. We need another piece of the puzzle here. Are the buyers interested in that? And yeah, they are so far. They are charging after higher highs here and this liquidity up at these levels here. Okay, that's how it acts like a magnet. Right, and you'll need to kind of understand this relationship in here. Okay, now look here's more liquidity up here. Okay, do buyers want it? Yeah, they're going after it here. Okay, so it's acting like a magnet. This is new liquidity, but it's acting like a magnet. Okay, look at liquidity here on the bid. Okay, this is repelling liquidity. This is new liquidity on the bid, and it seems to be repelling the price action, okay, away from it. This is how you can read it here. You'll see this happen again and again. Now, just think about your economics 101 and supply and demand. Okay, so all of a sudden with more demand, what happens to price? Okay, do the aggressors in here want it? Okay, how do they react to it? In this case, you can see we kind of pulled back and we've traded into some of this liquidity here at 87.50. Okay, so we're getting that understanding now. All right, now watch, we'll see this in real time here, but we know the magnets are either here at 90 or 85. Okay, and right now it looks like 90, I would give it to 90 as being more magnetic because we seem to have buyers interested in trading up in these levels here. Okay, here's our skew in the book right here. Okay, does it repel price? Yeah, it did. It did. So we're looking for 90 as the magnet here. Okay, you'll see this again and again and again. Okay, this is a pretty typical scenario here. All right, so 90 has transacted. All right, so in real time here. You know, it just look for these things in here. We'll go through it again and again. It's no problem. So now we're pulling back a bit, we're still between 85 and 90 basically, right? Okay, now there's a little bit more up here at 92 and a little less here at 90 now. Does that answer your question? Okay, I would really highly recommend you go through this exercise that we did this week, I think, or maybe last as well, is we can take the volume dots and volume bars off and just look at price action and liquidity and understand this. Oh, you're welcome, Damush. Happy to help you. So look at here. Here comes our order book in here. More liquidity on the offer at a lower level. Price seems to be repelled by it. We're looking for it to come back down into maybe here, a 86 now, right? Okay, now it came back down into the bottom of the range here. Let's see if we can get a little bit more, and let's see if we get even another skew in the order book here. See how the skew though is, it's a little more complex than that. They're also skewing or adding more demand or more liquidity here on the bid, and now we're back up to test these guys at 89, right? So you know, this is it's a constant shift and change. It flows. It's like water in here. The order book is, people are always adding and pulling. It's an auction. Okay? It's a live auction. Okay, but you'll go through it we can go through it in real time. We can also go through it in historically and go back and look at it again and again. Okay, so that's how we can put this together. Now look at the bid here. It's getting pretty strong now. Okay, it was down here at 85. Look at it now. Okay, and seems like we got some buying interest here. So I'm looking for buyers to hit 90 and break out. It's already happened, but 92 is our next level. We talked about it. Okay, what's our next level after that? You know, 90, 94, 95, but it's really up here at 4,500. And we got a ways to go to get up there. Now we zoom out a little bit and we can see we've traded into this 92 level, and there's still more buying pressure. Okay, a little bit above it. Now it's failed and come back down. All right, so this auction up here failed, and we're back down here. But look at your skew again at 88 or 89 right here. Okay, what does price do with this new demand coming into the market? How does price react to it? Okay, well, it's not really repelling it right now. In fact, they're pulling that liquidity, and they just added it back in. Okay, so you can see how, you know, players test this market in here. Let's take a look at the transactions. I want to see if they transacted here. They did. On both occasions, they transacted. They bought. This liquidity got filled in here both times. Okay, but there's still more sellers. It didn't absorb all of the selling pressure. And now they're pulling down here on that strong bid that we looked at earlier is being pulled from the market. All right, so it's always shifting and changing, and we want to read and understand the shift in the change and the price action. Take profits. Good morning. How are you? After analyzing the price action is dominating the market. Triggers to trade. Well, we're going to go through like many different ways of trading in here. What I would say, because like I had opened up with the webinar, I'll go through all markets. I'll go through all different ways of trading. you might want to come to some of our other events with our other streamers in here. Scott Pulcini has his way of trading. He uses stops and icebergs as his big event. If you probably know who Scott is, he's been trading for a long time, a professional trader. He was trading like 10% of the S&P back in the early 2000s. Is it 10%? I don't know. Was it? Whatever it was, it was an amazing statistic. He was just trading just massive volume. Each tick was like $50,000 or something like that. Jay Trader, a stocks trader, very professional trader. Tom B, he's got a wealth of experience. He's been trading volume profile and was a CTA as well. Doug, who's been trading a long time, has a very unique options strategy for stocks and futures, mostly stocks. Algo boys have been trading a long time as well. They've developed their own proprietary algos and look at market structure and have ways of looking at the market. It goes on and on and on. All right. So anyway, they have their specific ways. I would recommend you go there and you go check out some of their ways of trading. All right. So we can go through any way that you want. So I guess I'll pose the question back at you. Take profit. What way do you trade? And then we can take a look at it in here. And then in the meantime here, Damush, is footprint chart really required to take decisions? I like footprint charts. I like volume profile charts. Okay, so I mean, what kind of strategies do you look at though? Take profit. That's the question. Do you trade candlestick patterns? Do you look at like price action patterns like head and shoulders, or use indicators? Just give me something to work with here. And then let me answer this footprint. So problem with footprint is this. Number one, you don't have the heat map. Number two, the volume is going to be on a bar. You see how like with Bookmap here, we're showing price action streaming. It's just best. There's no time frame here. It's streaming best bid and offer, right? The volume is transacting on that best bid and offer. So we're showing precisely where the transactions are taking place. Footprint is going to show you where the volume trades on a bar. You're not going to understand that it consolidated like this, it broke out like this. You're just going to see a bar and you're going to have a high volume node probably here, right? A large number up here. So, and it's going to be a buy volume up here, right? So I don't know how that really, I mean, yeah, I don't have a problem with footprint charts. I like them. I just think that you're seeing so much more here because you have the context of pure price action and volume within it. Okay, look at how like this price structure makes all the difference that the candlestick completely ignores. This is our consolidation. This is our false breakout. Look at the selling coming back in here. Okay, they are starting to move the market lower now. I think it would be rather difficult looking at this example here. I think it would be rather difficult to see this in your footprint chart. You may see some of this volume in here, but look at how that volume compares to all that buying in here. Okay, it is below it though. Would notice that. Right, so you might get really kind of muted signals or conflicting signals in your footprint, and that's the one of the big issues I have with footprint. Is just the aggregated data. The other one is the other side of the trade. No one's showing that. Okay, we're just covering that and understanding the skew in the auction, and then understanding if this liquidity is transacting or not, and how price reacts to this liquidity. All right, and that's really the key here. All right. Support and resistance. Okay, so you just want to look at simple support and resistance. All right, well, let's go with that. So this would be resistance up here. This would be support down here. We're back to kind of like 89 and 85 and 3/4. All right, so let's read it here. Well, sellers, here's where price made a high, failed, came back in here. Here come our sellers here testing into this range in here. All right, did this liquidity get filled? Yep, it did. Is there more down here? Yep, 85. Okay, all right. So is this going to reject and come back into the range? Maybe to the point of control right here, which I have in my chart range volume profile. Okay, I'm not seeing anything yet. There's a bit of buying. Okay, all right. How's that bid look? Not bad. Yeah, how's that buying volume? It's okay. You know, yeah, it's back to the point of control here. I'm not really seeing it though. This doesn't look that convincing here. Right, so in fact there's low volume. This is a low volume pullback. Okay, that looks better. I like that idea. Now here's what we got. Okay, high liquidity filled. Okay, but it bounced, price bounced. Sellers came back in here and more traded down at this 85 level here. Okay, prices bounced back up. All right, and let's take a look and let's get this candlestick off. All right, now we go. Now we got something. All right, we got a little bit more on the offer here. Okay, but buyers are after it. Okay, all right. So now what I'm looking for here is maybe a potential break one way or another, and we're not getting a whole lot out of it right now. We see that liquidity at that point of control came in, and the buyers took it, but it failed after that. Okay, so I'm looking for actually if we can get sellers. Here we go, sellers here. Now I'm looking for sellers to test the bottom of the range and potentially break it now. Okay, I see the sellers come in, and let's see if we can get that. Now, what did we not have in here? We had the sellers coming in. We had some exhaustion here, but we didn't have the order book on our side. Okay, we want to see that skew in the order book here. Here we go again. Okay, there's our exhaustion. I like it. Let's see. There's our order book skew. Okay, sellers, let's see you drop it down to 83.50. Maybe let's take a look here. Maybe we can get down into like 82.50 or even like 82 here. Okay. Now I like the volume here, but I see high liquidity that filled, and we don't see sellers below it. And look at the order book here, right? I'd be very careful here on this. You know, in fact, this is starting to look like a range bound trade in this regard, right? Something like this, okay? Or get a little bit better here, something like this. Okay, all right. So still I'm a little surprised. It was kind of dark in here, but no buyers. Exhausted 3 times. Sellers come in. We get the continuation of that move. All right. So now we've hit 83.5. Maybe we can still get down to our higher time frame, right? We're looking at this kind of 82 level here. Liquidity's down here at 80. Okay. Funny enough, that was liquidity we were targeting on the way up here, right? Was 80 and then 82 and then 85 and 90. Okay, makes sense. There's real-time stuff. Okay, we just went through, read the order book, didn't, you know, we're reading it and like, yeah, no, it was not so clean or clear in here until we had wind at our backs here or a bit more in the order book. Right, once we started to see this in here and this auction as well as the sellers in here, and it was actually here, right? Then we're looking for this break in here. Okay, and we got it. All right, now it doesn't always work out, right? But at least we have these elements on our side. Okay, does that make sense? Did that answer your question? Take profit, Darmush, okay, in real time. And you can do this too. Just be really objective about this. In fact, don't take a trade. Just be objective. Did I talk about liquidation zones? Well, we've been talking about liquidation zones throughout the entire webinar here. You're welcome, Take Profit. Yeah, so we can go through the process again and again and again. But so we're looking for it in here, and we weren't really too convinced. And then we got a little more convinced. Okay? And then we were looking for the follow through. Okay, and then we started to target areas as well. Okay, in 82 down here, liquidity, and also 80 liquidity as well. Okay, our first level of liquidity was here at 83.5 or so. So this is how you can put more on your side, more probabilities in your direction here. Okay, and this is how you can use Bookmap. All right, just get good at it. I mean, like, let's just go through the process. Okay, so understanding the auction. Okay, where is the liquidity? 86 and 81, something like that. Okay, how are the buyers and sellers reacting to it? Okay, well, they're going after it here now, and they're pulling here. Okay, pretty good. It's pretty good, and we're getting buyers here. Okay, do we have the order book on our side? No, we don't. Okay, we want to see it like strong on the bid here. See how dark it is here? Watch how sellers can hit up here at 88. And it can pull right back down here again. Okay, so and then we want to read the buying and selling pressure though as well. Like, how is this relative volume here to like this selling in here? It looks rather equal. Therefore, we can find sellers like this very easily take it right back down. Right now, we're getting a skew in the order book now, and we're getting our breakout now. Okay, so we were looking for the potential for those sellers, but we missed this, and we missed it on purpose. I mean, like, yeah, I just didn't like not having the offer or the bid support this here. Okay, now it's starting to, and we still are finding buyers here, and it's a little too high now though. I feel from my blood. Okay, but it's working out pretty well. Good morning, Uchiha. Stan, good morning. And Joe here, let's see. Can you split volume profile, bid and ask? Yep, absolutely. Yeah, Alois, okay, you like that. I like it too, especially like on kind of lower time frames. So we're going to actually duplicate this column by right-clicking in the CVP column and inserting another one. So it just duplicates it, right? Now what we're going to do is right-click in here and then go to Configure Column, and then we're going to go to Split Out the Data here. Okay, this is what Alois is talking about, now we can look at this column here. This is the aggressor within this chart range here. Okay, it's based on the chart range, right? So if I zoom out, I'll have more data. It is the same column as this one here. Let me just put this column over here. It's the same as this one here, but this is showing a composite of both buying and selling together. This one split it out. This is selling liquidity. This is buying liquidity. Okay, if you added these together, it would look like this. All right, so now you can read this in here and start to read the aggressor. So look at this skew in here. Wow, okay, I would say buyers are going to continue higher here. Okay, because look at the buying compared to the selling here. Now it's looking kind of equal, so now I would take that away. But before that, when we got that little pop into that liquidity there, okay, this is for kind of hyper scalping, but like you can use this. Now it's a pullback to a high volume node, right? So that's where you could take some profit on this. If you were looking for, if you saw the equal, you did not see a skew in here, and this would be kind of back to value here. right? So different ways of reading these things in here, and continuation on down. All right, so where might this go? Let's take a look here. Yeah, I like this kind of 87-ish level, but I like the liquidity down here at 86. Alois is another one I like very much too. I'll duplicate this column. Okay, and now we've got the same one, but we'll right click in here and configure and show the delta. Okay, so this is buy plus sell in a composite here, like your typical volume column. This is buy minus sell. Okay, so it can give some insights here as well. By understanding that, wow, okay, there's, this could be potentially trapped buying here, okay? Where buyers would be back in control, back up above 90 in these large transactions up here. With this algo in here as well, stepping down, never gets filled. Never gets filled. Hey, maybe they got filled here. Yeah. It doesn't look like it's trying to. It doesn't look like it's what's it called? Ignition algo. Yeah, because it's just not a whole. It's not a lot of size here. Looks like they just wanted to get filled here. And they were way up here hanging, right? Trying to get filled at a higher area. And then they chased. See how we can read that though? We can gain something from that information in here. So they got filled here. All right, so that's kind of interesting. So there's a concept then, and you can see it in the price action. Okay. Maybe we get a stop run below here and buyers back up above 88 here. And if we do get that, we look for the move back to our high volume node at 90 or back up into this higher liquidity up in these areas. Okay, we can slice and dice it many different ways here. Good morning, Sam. Double top target 44.88, 84. All right, let's take a look. There you go. Okay, so Sam is looking at this here and the move down and then targeting right here at 84. I like it. Right where all of this volume initiated here, this move to the upside. Sam, just a note on your double top. I mean, it has done a measured move. So if we just look at this and this, and sorry, I mean that is the measured move, and maybe that you start to find some buying interest back in these areas, and this would be actually a better area. Would be 88 here. Imagine. The concept of the measured move is I'm not speaking to you, Sam, directly, but like we're just looking for. There's reasons for it of the traders maybe trapped inside here, maybe taking profit, or look at other structural areas in here to consider these areas for managing your trade using a measured move. Okay, it's not about fibs here. This is about like, looking at either half the move or a full move. That's it, basically. We're not looking at the 68.3 or 2 or whatever it is in the fibs, your 121 level, etc. We're not talking about those types of levels. We're talking about understanding potential measured moves by how much breadth in the market, as well as traders getting stopped out in specific areas and where can look for potential reversals. 1040p. Okay. This is your first peak. Yeah. Oh, yikes. Okay, there you go. Okay, sorry. Sorry about that, Sam. All right, well, that's a beauty then, on the higher time frame here. Yeah. So let's take a look at that measured move. Now this hasn't failed yet. If it did, it'd be a really nice move down to the swing down here, right? Beautiful, right here. See, now that measures up nicely, right? So anyway, just some food for thought. Good morning, Deborah. All right, so let's take a look here. So we have traded down into this 86 level. I kind of forget where we left off. And back and forth. We got strong buy volume in here and stronger selling volume down here. This too looks like a good little area right here. This 85, somewhere around in here, right? Yeah, maybe even 84 here. That's where we see a shift and a change in here. Right? Here's the move down below. Here's the break up above. Okay, let's see if those sellers can hit it now. Here they come. Looks pretty good. Yeah, I would look for the sellers to hit it down into this 84. And then let's see if they can even break it here. That's asking for a lot, but there's a lot of strong volume that came in here. Yeah, I would say like 82 would be 80 and 82 would be the area here. Again, guys, I really, what do we have here? We got the volume, we got the break, but we also have a stop run here. Okay, and it's not too much of a break. And look at the order book under, on the other side here. Okay, we don't get much of a skew here. We don't see them pulling. Now they're starting to pull a little bit here. All right, so let's see the little bit more liquidity in here, and let's see if we can get that move into 82 then. See how, I mean, we just, we want all the pieces here. We want the behavior of the participants in here to tell us that the reaction to liquidity in here is a move lower. And we just don't have liquidity in here. It's way up here. Right? So we just don't have that on our side. That's all. That's all it means. Okay? We still have the price structure and we have the volume. Okay, see how now they're coming down a bit more and we have a bit more volume in here. All right, let's see the sellers hit into 82 and maybe 80 here. Okay, I mean, this is how you can, add more to your trade and whatever strategy that you're trading. It's just by understanding these elements in here. We jump back to Discord. Morning, Stephen. A lot of resting liquidity at 44.50s. Yeah, let's take a look. Sure is. Thoughts on that? Yeah, let's just we didn't even take a look at our bigger picture here. I just started kind of answering some of the questions that I wanted to go through. Let's take a look at our bigger picture daily chart here on the left, and interesting one, the hourly here in the middle and the 15-minute on the right. Okay, so here's what we've got so far. The daily has broken the swings from the last like 3 days, and it came down here. This is an outside day at that point. It came back into the range though now, right? So and it basically filled the gap here. So here's our gap here on the 15. We'll get maybe to the hour in a minute here, but we'll get to the hour in hour chart in a little later, I should say. The 15-minute chart here. This is where we opened. We see the momentum down to the downside. We hit something down here, right? We'll take a look at Bookmap. And then we came back up, and then we tested to the other side. We filled the gap, and then came back up into not really too much structure in here, maybe a high volume node in here somewhere, but like above these swings here, okay, from yesterday, and you can see a couple of wicks in here, and then now price has failed up here and is coming back down. There's another double top for you. This is the smaller double top we were looking at, okay, in the measured move. I think it was a smaller one, maybe not. No, it was the one Sam's looking at. Yeah. So this is it here on a 15-minute chart. Okay, and here's the momentum right now coming back in. Right. So yeah, on this 15-minute chart, yeah, this looks pretty good here. However, this candle here, let's again look at these kind of measured moves in here. It's already kind of done it, right? Maybe we need a bit of a pullback and then look for continuation. Right, and we're looking here at this bottom here, around this 44.74 area here, and see if we can get momentum or volume below it, and then retest some of the lows here. Okay, so if that scenario starts to unfold, Stephen, then I would look for this high liquidity down at 50. Okay, I like that idea. Stephen, you've been putting in a lot of hard work, and really like what you're doing. All right, so I put some comments on your spreadsheet, and I don't know if you saw those, but yeah. Anyway, and I know you've been attending many of these events in here, yeah, please go check it. It was last week. I put some comments in there. Okay, you're part of the Bookmap Academy, or you applicant to the Bookmap Junior Academy. Yeah. All right. So anyway, so where we left off on that higher time frame analysis was yeah, it moved into 80, as you guys can see. But like we said, like this failure up here, Sam's double top. And this is a pretty nice move here, but we're looking for kind of a pullback at the moment. But we like this selling coming in and this rejection up here. Okay, one of the things I know Sam looks at here for his double tops is right in front of us. Okay, and what do you guys think it is that you give some insight on this move back up here and the failure up here? What's one of the things you'd look for? There's a couple of things in here. Let me clear the charts. First off, we'll look for our 70 level as kind of being the measured move in here for this double top. Okay, and it looks good here. It's actually looking really good because we're down below here, right? This swing, and it has not accepted above. We look for our pullback, Now we're looking for our sellers to drive it down to 75 and maybe 70. All right, so what do you guys think? He mentions it in the chat there in YouTube. It's an important element for understanding the transactions, and also liquidity is a part of it. Deborah, what do you think? Calling you guys out here because I think you'll find it helpful. And let's clear the drawings. So this top and then this one here. Exactly, teddy bear, spot on. Declining delta. Look at the volume in here. Look at, here's your you can look at the volume decreasing here. Okay, not bad buying here, pretty strong move, right? But it's decreasing volume. So therefore, what we know up here is we know a couple different things. Nice, Sam. The volume bars, yeah, you're not talking about CVD. Although let's take a look at CVD as well, because I know a lot of people like it. Right, and we'll take the stops and icebergs off, and we do have divergence also in CVD. We should. I would look for that, but it's this move here, strong move, high liquidity filled here and here. Okay, we saw that move on the way up, and we saw this little top up here as being a kind of it was a stop run and then a move right back down below, and then we look for that move back down into our 80, 82 level, etc., which unfolded, and then we went through that example in here of reading supply and demand and then looking for that break. We missed the move on the way back up. I didn't like the support underneath in the order book. Right? Although we had the aggressors and they were getting out of the way, but we didn't have all the pieces. Now we're back up here and some liquidity filled up here, and it does make a slightly higher high, but on lower volume. Okay, so who knows, right? It might pull back. We might come back up here. We get a cup and handle type of pattern with strong volume, and we get our break into 4,500. Okay, we didn't get that. We had less volume here. We have some buyers fighting it in here, fighting it. Here they're screwed. Okay, this is where the sellers are going to take it down, not only to here and test these buyers, but they've got a lot of buying in here that will unwind back down into these lower levels here. Okay, and then maybe this can be the continuation move to fulfill that measured move from the pattern here. Does that make sense? I have to be honest, right now I don't like it. This is one of the patterns we look for. Leg 1, here's our leg 2, and where's the sellers here? So this is like a double bottom here. All right, and let's see if we get a stronger bid here and pulling on the offer. Okay, then I'd look for these buyers to come up into like 82 3/4 or 85-ish up here. All right, so this is leg 1, leg 2 failure, looking for volume, and then the move back up into these areas up here. All right, so we're looking at the kind of bigger picture of the potential move on down into 75 and 70. Still may happen. This may not unfold here. It has to kind of break up here, right? And it's not. So if we can come back down here and we do see the sellers, it should be even a better move. Okay, we would look for the stop run then as well. Okay, so different scenarios in here. Okay, so the scenario is this. We made a lower high here. First, we're looking at the double bottom pattern. Okay? It still may play out. Okay? It may come up here. We may get that buying, and we'll look for the move up into the 83-ish and then 85-ish. Okay, liquidity up there. Okay, and no insight right now at the moment. Okay, let's just read it then. Okay, so I'm still seeing, you know, some demand or some supply up here, but now we had a little skew in the book here. They stayed away from it. Now we're getting our buyers in here. Okay, I'd look for these buyers to try to pull it on up into this 83-ish and 85-ish area here. And they cannot. It's only up to the swing here at 82. Here they come again. Okay, skew in the order book here. Kind of dark, but the skew is down here at 79. Look, there's not much to really hang our hat on in here. We're right in the middle of high liquidity on each side. Okay, but we're trying to read it in here. Okay, to be honest, I like the to see this kind of double bottom in here fail. I would like to see that, and I'd like to see more sellers back down here, probably around 79. Then we can get the break lower. But buyers continue to try to push this higher. Here's our skew in the order book. Okay, and this is turning into like a little cup and handle. Okay, so a bit more buying, and we can understand this move higher. Also buyers around 81. Yeah, true. Buyer stops. Let's take a look here at the, I'm going to remove this column. We can look at our delta column here. See how the selling in the delta is mostly selling in here and some buying in here, right? Sellers really kind of dominating all the way back up to this point up here. Okay, buyers just in this little kind of nook right in here. So therefore, you can justify selling. Here they are, and then the selling in here now should be able to continue with control back down here, right down into like the swing low 77.50 area. Let's see here. Try to re-add shorts. 484 sweep swing. Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking for the breakdown now, though. Like this delta column kind of helped here, and then looking for the continuation now. I think we got it. Sellers are coming in. There's more on the offer. They're pulling on the bid. Okay, we know the buyers or sellers are in control in this area in here. So just looking for the buyers. Basically, what we're looking for is the buyers to give up in here. Just let the sellers have it. They'll buy it at a lower level. Okay, so looking for our sellers and looking for that move into 77.5 and a break down into 75. And that was our kind of first target on that was our 75, and 70 would complete the pattern here. Okay, makes sense. And then Alois, let's take a look at, we'll take a look at the columns in here. Now, this column here, the CVP with the data split out, let's go through some resetting in here. We'll actually, you can have it reset in many different ways in here. Scheduled resets at a specific time of the day, at a specific time interval, or at the start of the session. There's some conditional resets as well. We're not going to use that feature. We're going to use another one, which is reset on double click. Okay, so here's our move, guys. This is exactly what we're looking for with the help from this column here, understanding who's in control in certain areas. We're already down to our 77 level, looking for the continuation into 75. Now let's use this new tool here, and we're going to double click in here and reset it. Okay, so sellers should be in control here. Look at our column. It looks pretty equal right now. There you go. Sellers should hit the bid more, and we should hit into 75 here. Okay, so see a little bit of flurry come in on the buy side here. So anyway, we're looking for also skews here by the aggressor, basically, to give us insight. Let's double click again. Okay, clear it, and then we'll look at this data in here again. Okay, we're looking for, again, exhaustion here on the buy side. That's not happening at all. Okay, so we see a bumped higher here. Okay, now let's see if we can get sellers here. And then 200 versus, need to move in a little bit. Versus, you have to look at this diagonally in here. Okay. So hitting the bid or lifting the offer here. So here they come on the sell side here. You can see a little more momentum here. I'm just looking at this in here, right? So it looks good. There's a skew. See the skew there? 146, whatever it was, 159. If we get below it here, same ideas that we're looking at in the dots, get below it, more momentum, more selling compared to buying, looking for them to try to hit lower here. Okay, same ideas. This is a different visualization of it. Tom Gunn, you like Bookmap? Excellent. Yeah, me too. Okay, here's the move back up. All right. So anyway, Alois, yeah, I mean, I know a lot of traders they like this kind of data in here. They're only looking to take in the S&P maybe a few ticks here and there, maybe a point or so, but not much. Right? They're just looking for a small edge, a very consistent small edge. I like to look at the dots and the structure in here instead, and look at basically the same thing. Bottom edge, we're looking for our sellers in here. We're looking for them to push it down into our 75. Right, so it's basically the same thing. We're just looking at it over here as a graphical representation. So Sam, this would be like a double bottom in here that failed, right? And you can look at criteria in there. There's our move into 75, still looking for lower, right? Thanks to Sam, looking for our 70 level as a measured move here, okay, from the double top. Okay. We also look at this area. Well, we're right at it, just below 75. Yeah, this is just this area here where the buyers came in. Also where the buyers came in here. This looks even better. So I really like the 70 level. There's not known. You might actually do it by accident, but you can even do one click in here to reset just the bid, or I think, yeah, just one side here. Yeah, you can do it on either side actually. If you just single click on this side here on the left of it, it will reset the offer, or the aggressor on the buy side. If you left click on the right side of it though, it'll reset. On. Oh no, it's above or below. That's how it is. Right. I click up here, I reset the sellers. If I click down below, I reset the buyers. That's how it works. And then if you double click, it resets both. Okay, so you have that option too. Maybe you want to keep one side. Oh, thanks, Sam. Well, it's your read actually. You're the one that saw the double top. I saw a double top within it. Double top within the double top. That it completed its move though already. So Sam drinks on Sam when it hits 44.70. Let me see here. A few questions. Slow down. Where can someone read and research this leg one? Leg two strategy. Slow down. I need to put something together on that. But it's actually, we've been covering it for a long time. To be honest, it's always like understanding like this move here. Okay, so here we strong move. Okay, pull back, and again pretty strong move here. So I'm looking for the sellers. I'm looking for buyers not to buy this basically. So that means that sellers will continue and will continue into 70 here. Right, so I'm looking for sell volume down here on the second leg here. Right, so and if we do, we have a higher probability. And while we also have a strong offer up here, it came down further, and we're looking for these guys to pull away, not be buyers here. So those sellers can just do a nice little move into 70 here. Okay, so what if though, we come down here, we see a lot of liquidity got filled on the way down, which did in some cases here. And we see a lot of buyers come back in up in the retesting back up in here. We come back down and we get maybe a slightly higher high, kind of like this. Okay, but we don't see any selling. In fact, we see buyers starting to come in here. And that would be your leg two, and it would be on much lower sell volume. Okay, that's when you look for the potential for reversal at that point. Okay, and it's really simple concept of like, well, it traded at this one level here, and it's back here to trade again, and we're not finding sellers. In fact, we're exhausting out of sellers. So you look for buyers to come in on the other side first, and if they can get some of that momentum, then you can look for it taking it back up to the top of the range and maybe taking some off. Right now, these are small ranges, right? So you're only talking about a few ticks or so, but or maybe a few points, but like it works on the higher time frames too. Here's the double top that Sam's looking at. So he's where was your entry, Sam? It was probably, because I know you look at your smaller areas in here, so I imagine it was probably in here, maybe even up in here. So let's suppose Sam is in here around 89, let's say. Okay, it's the same concept, right? Maybe he took some off down here, I don't know, and now he's holding for 70, right? So let's suppose he got in at 89. Okay, so 89 down to 70. So it's almost a 20-point move, 19-point move. So it doesn't have to be micro, or much smaller moves in here. The same concepts work. And again, what I really like about it is the just understanding. It's not, because we've all read about tops, double tops, and head and shoulders, etc. But we really want to understand why. What's behind it here, and it's just we know the market is an auction. Okay, so like right now, like see the buying coming in here. Well, that might be enough to shake me out at 71.25. And instead of looking for 70, so I miss a 1.5 out of it. So I got 18 points instead of 19. Something like that. I'm just not willing to have it come back up to 75 or even higher. I'll just get out, and that would be my trade. Right? So anyway, as I was talking with slowdown about that double top and double bottom and the different legs and the volume behind it. So we have a price structure, and now we have the volume within that price structure, and we also have the liquidity where the buyers and sellers are in the auction. Okay, and it's those three elements that we're looking at and understanding. So like this one here, look at this element here, right? So we came down here, there's some selling, came back down here. I don't see a whole lot, and we saw this big green dot right here. So do we have divergence down here? No, we don't. So looking actually for some buyers here to take it back up to 75 now, okay, on this smaller time frame. Now, funny enough, I mean, you can just dice this up again and again. Here, buyers here, lack of buyers here, right? So look, yeah, we don't really quite know here. If we can come back up here though, and we get buyers here, it's looking pretty good. I would look for the break to 75. And here we are. Now, do we get buyers? And do we get the order book here? A little bit. Yeah, I kind of like it. Let's see, just for kicks here, looking for 75. There we go, right? Okay, so just that little bit in here. We didn't really know here. Okay, we didn't know. And then we come back up here and we're like, okay, this is still on. Do we get buyers? Yeah, we got some. Did we get the order book? Yeah, it's not bad. All right, well, we're looking for this. Okay, there it is. Okay, so I hope that helps slow down. So we went through that process in multiple times here. Okay, and then also potential trade management on a higher time frame move as well. Sam, excellent. Okay, so got a good entry at 44.90, stop loss 96, first target at 84. Took most off. Excellent. Wow. Nice work, Sam. Really nice. Yeah, Dave, this is recorded here, so it'll be available immediately after webinar, and we'll finish up in probably about 8 minutes or so. Let's see. Yeah, thanks, Alois. I always read your comments later. So anyway, like, look, one of the things here, like, about this big dot down here and then seeing that and then getting shaken out of the trade. I mean, look, this move to 70 will probably still work. All I can say though is we don't have that kind of divergence in here in the volume that we were looking at earlier, right? This is not a low volume pullback here, right? This is more like in Wyckoff, this would be accumulation, right? So this is your marked down period. This is your accumulation. And then, maybe you get kind of a spring, or like, maybe it's kind of redistribution and then continuation to the downside, right? So, but just see the difference though, right? That this is not a low volume pullback. That is fact. Okay, still might get the move here, but I'm out here. Okay, this is close enough, and something's shifted and changed in here. So just as food for thought and consideration for your trade management. Okay, again, this isn't a trade recommendation room. Okay, these are all concepts to go back and study and take it further. Okay, and we'll do it in real time to help kind of confirm some of these ideas and concepts in real time. So Zaire, if you are looking for using the replay mode, what you'll need to do is you'll need to get Bookmap, and you'll need to get your DX feed or your Omni feed, connect to the data, record it, and then you have the recording that you could use for replay mode. Right. There is another way for adding backfill data. If you guys are interested in this, you can get additional backfill data from DXFeed. I think it's $14 a month. You can get up to like 72 hours, I think, or maybe for sure 24 hours. Okay, but you zoom all the way out, and then you can click on this gray button, and you can add. You can see I can add up to 19 hours of backfill cloud data. Okay, local data here is my recorded data. So if like I recorded it earlier and I want to load it in here, but this is from the cloud here, so that I can get up to 19 hours backfill data. And now Bookmap's going to be pretty heavy at that time with all that backfill data, so just note that it's 24 hours. Okay, thank you, Alois. Excellent. So it's only 24 hours of backfill data. You are looking for, you want me to take a look at some stocks? Yeah, can do that. Yeah, Dave, I really just don't look at fib levels. I really don't believe in them. Sorry. I measured moves, and I can understand, like, ATR, or these kinds of concepts. To me, it makes sense in the market, but this kind of golden ratio does not make too much sense to me. And there's so many different fib levels, it's going to hit one or the other. Anurag. Is there other orders that are not seen in Bookmap? Yeah, the MBO data and the icebergs. Yeah, so that's an add-on like right now, okay, into 70. So guys, we got a few things going on at this 70 level, right? This is important. Look at the iceberg buying in here. Okay, this blue line here is icebergs. Current reading is negative. It's cumulative volume delta of the iceberg, so negative 365. Down here, what is it? It is negative 1700. So over 1,000 icebergs just in this area getting filled. Not bad, you know, not bad. If we really want to see something powerful, though, you know, we can zoom out and see for the day. This is not bad here. This is meaningful. Okay, Scott, for example, if you really want to get into the details, he'll go over this and look for this exclusively, okay, as kind of signals. I shouldn't say signals, as kind of the big event to then look at the order flow. Right. So yes, we can see icebergs with iceberg transactions with the MBO data from Rhythmic for the CME only. So that's what you need. It has to be CME futures, and it has to be Rhythmic data. Right? You can get it from the Bookmap marketplace. Yeah. Let me show you that quickly. So, and let me also show you. So we went from bookmap.com over to the More button, and we went to the Learning Center. And then in the Learning Center, if you guys are interested in some of the backfill data, etc., you should watch some of the videos in this course. Click on it, and then displaying elements here. You can see backfill data. It's about 2-minute video here. Okay, we'll explain it better than my more concise way. So yeah, the Learning Center is great for all these kind of features and components in Bookmap with this course here on getting started. The marketplace, let's go over that. So click on the More button again at bookmap.com and go to Marketplace, and you can just scroll right down to MBO Bundle and click on it. That'll take you right to it. Here it is here. So we've added a lot more to it. In fact, you get the MBO Bundle plus Trader Map Pro, plus you're going to get the it's available as well as part of it in here is you get the Market Pulse, I believe. Pretty sure. See it listed. Pretty sure you do. Yeah, Market Pulse, volume pressure, right there. Beautiful. Okay, so this is 134 a month. With that, then you can see these stops and icebergs in here. Okay, so we have a lot of iceberg buying here. Is it covering? Are they reversing? We don't quite know that, but we just know that there is a lot of hidden liquidity in here getting filled. Okay, we can show you all those details in here. This is another beautiful thing in Bookmap. We can show you all those details. Here's what I mean let's just show it in here. Okay, the whole evolution of the iceberg is in here. Okay, everything is seen. Okay, the transactions. Go. Oh, there's tons in here. So this iceberg here, there's a smaller one in here, right here. God, there's a bunch of smaller ones in here. There's a lot of action at this 4470 level, guys. There's an iceberg. The E means executed for 150. So total of 150. It was this iceberg in here, from here over to here. And we have another one in here executed for 330. Actually, 4/4 means there were 4 different icebergs at that same price level. Okay, and here's another one, 330, but 3 different icebergs. Okay, so a lot going on in here at this level here, and in fact, it's still going on. The evolution of some of these, you can see them here. They are still in the order book right now, 40, 105, and 70. Okay, it doesn't mean that that's what's there. It means that's what has transacted already. It's only transactions. We don't know how many are behind it, right? But you can see what are they doing in here? as well. What do you guys think? This is a great little trick. It's hidden liquidity from the order book. Where's the liquidity in the order book though? See your answers. The liquidity in the order book's down here at 44.70. We've been talking about it. They're in front of it and they're hidden. So what does that mean? Well, it means that, sellers like, us, or we're waiting to take our profit down here at 70. Well, it might not make it because there's icebergs getting filled in front of it. They're front running it here. It's a great little trick. It's not ingenious or anything like that, but it's just, it's a little trick. Don't show your size in the order book, and put your icebergs in front of this 284.85 here at 70. 84 contract, 284 contracts there. Yeah, exactly, Sam. Yeah, it's a buy iceberg. If it's on the bid, it's a buy iceberg. It acts like liquidity, but it's just hidden. We don't know, Dave, if they're getting, out of their position or if they're entering or both. We just don't know. We just know that they're icebergs and they're transacting. Okay, so there's the 70 level. Okay, yeah, I would have been out at, I would have lost 1.5 points on that, but I wouldn't have had to put up with all of this back and forth in here. Anyway, it's up to you. And we, there's still justification for this to continue to the downside here. How can they hide it? It's an order type, Deborah. Like for example, TT offers it, or in this case, the CME exchange offers that order type, just like it's a stop order, or if it's a limit order. Instead, you're using iceberg order or hidden order, right? But we can detect now the transactions. Yeah, and why would you use it? I mean, only larger players are going to use it. Now look at this area here. See, now this has turned out to be rather significant now. Now, after all of them just got filled in here, we have, if we zoom out and it aggregates in here, right? If we zoom out and we can see the aggregation of 3,200, okay, in this area, in this zone in here. Okay, 74 icebergs, but 3,200 altogether, 3,219. And now that's pretty significant. All right, so this is what Scott looks at. You might want to come to his on Thursdays. And he looks at these significant events, and then he looks for the order flow around them. So now you're looking at, well, okay, well, if we start to see aggressive buyers start to come in here, start to break some structure, the order book starts to flip from from strong offer to strong bid, following up underneath here. Well, then you have justification for your reversals. Okay, so like right now, look at the strong bid here, or you can see the buyers, the aggressors coming in. So I would look for these buyers to, we just traded into all this high liquidity and icebergs. So trading up to the top of the range here, 75, is there's higher probability that something like that will happen now due to this information here. All right. Yeah, anonymous trader, we answered that question about why it strays away from the best bid and offer. We talked about skew in the auction, etc. Earlier. So you might want to go back and watch the recording. Okay, and there's our easy move up into 75 right there, just based off of this information, right? And talking about Scott and some of his strategies. Is there any logical reason why someone would use an Iceberg order? Not really, AC. I don't know why anyone would use it for like a 1 to 3 lot or 2 to 3 lot, but I do see some of them filled for that amount. Executed for 1, executed for 5. I mean, it's probably some larger player that is just like, I'm just going to throw a 1 lot in there and check it out. And their algo and their setup is on icebergs. It's probably something like that. And crypto traders using multi-book. Okay, yeah, thanks, Luis. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, anyway, we've gone over our time, so let's wrap it up, guys. If you like this kind of education, please hit the like button. This really helps us. It gives more insight to what you guys like, what you respond to, and what more to cover. Right, so yeah, please hit the like button, and we'll continue on Monday to go through whatever it is that you guys want. Right, this is we feel this is your education on order flow and understanding these markets at a deeper level, so that you have a higher probability of being successful on your trades. Okay, yeah, thanks everybody. Thanks, Sam. Yeah, hit that like button, please. And we'll continue on. Tom B is up. You might want to go check out that webinar, Volume Profile Trader. Excellent, tons of experience. Later, options with Doug. We also have Spanglish trades in Spanish with Frank Morero. And the Algo Boys will round out the day later. Okay, with their proprietary way of trading. That's on Discord only, though. So that's not on YouTube. All right. So yeah, thanks everybody. And we will. Sorry, slow down. I didn't get to go over. We will go over that though. I really like your content in that spring, and it's excellent stuff. So we'll get to it. All right. Really excellent stuff though. It really stands out. All right. Thank you all. We'll have a good weekend. We'll catch up next week.